Herzlich willkommen zurück zu Ace Attorney Investigations, Miles, Edgeworth, Lower Deck, Cargo Hold. So heißt dieses Spiel ab heute und wir sind wieder hier mit Cedric.
So nach dem Cargo Hold ist einfach das Spiel vorbei.
So,
Oder ich hätte es nicht sagen sollen.
Ich frage mich, ob wir überhaupt... ich habe mich ja gefragt, wieso wir überhaupt hier noch rumlaufen, was wir gerade hier suchen, aber ich glaube, ich habe meine Antwort gefunden. This is a rather large piece of cargo.
There's a tag on it, sir. Let's see. Elf red statue. Never heard of it.
Oh, jetzt kommt sie, oder wie?
Nor I, but all I care about is if we can prove it wasn't here at the time of the crime.
Wow.
Let's get investigating, sir.
Was meinst du?
Ist das die Statue, von der wir geredet haben?
Ja, das habe ich auch vorhin überlegt, aber ja, mach mal. Jetzt rennt er drauf.
Oh, er ist wieder hochgekommen. Look here! Do not go about touching my possessions without my permission.
Ah, es sind seine.
Oh.
Don't rush on me like that, pal.
So this belongs to Mr. LeBlanc, does it? I should see what else I can find out from him. Wir dürfen endlich wieder mit ihm reden, Cedric, freust du dich? LeBlanc's cargo.
Aber wahrscheinlich viel. Hoffentlich.
I take it that this large piece of cargo belongs to you, Mr. LeBlanc.
Of course it is mine. I shipped this fine piece of art from Europe. This Elf red statue is worth 10 million cents. No, maybe much more.
Mr. LeBlanc's reason for choosing this plane must have been the large cargo hold.
10 million cents.
I suggest you stop trying to calculate how many packets of noodles that makes, detective.
Wie viele Center Shocks sind?
Darn, how did you do that? I feel like you keep getting better and better and seeing right through me every year.
Though I grow with each revolution of a planet around the sun, I have a distinct impression he continues to madly spin in place.
Er dreht sich einfach so im Kreis wortwörtlich.
Hey, Mr. Edgeworth. So, that 10 million cents, is that in euros or in dollars?
Does it really make a difference to our case? Mr. LeBlanc, there's a chance that your cargo is related to a murder case. I was wondering if you would allow us to examine it a bit closer.
It is a very valuable piece of art, so no, there will be no touching. Ich hab seine Stimme vermisst.
So, glaubst du, wir das direkt präsenten?
Ja, Mann, das Foto, ab geht's.
Okay, ab geht's. Schade.
Oh.
Show me the bread, okay.
Show me the bread.
Wait, he wants me to pay him before he'll comment on this? Schade. Okay, dann laufen wir erst, gucken wir noch ein bisschen um.
Ja.
Yes. Gott, die Musik hört nicht auf. Keeping track of this many pieces of cargo must be very taxing on the cargo crew.
Okay. Das hat schon. In der letzten Folge.
Haha. Ja, irgendwie kann ich trotzdem nicht skippen, weird. Ja, wirklich. Ich rede mal mit diesem Officer. Das
If you spot anything off, you come and tell me right away, okay, pal?
Ah ja, hat er gerade. Achso.
Roger, sir. It's rather unusual for Gumshoe to be so directing. He must outrank this officer.
If you run into any trouble, you just leave it up to me, okay?
Yes, sir. Ah, watch out, Detective Gumshoe.
Ow!
Scruffy, I think your ego is in need of some deflating.
I was following in your footsteps, sir. I wanna try patronizing my subordinates.
Cruel and unforgiving to be a detective, even in front of his own subordinate. Schade. So, es ist auch wieder das gleiche. Ja, das ist wieder der gleiche Dialog. Okay, ich glaube, wir müssen dem irgendwas präsentieren können, oder? Weil sonst geht's hier, glaube ich, nicht mehr so. Wieso hab ich auf Examen geklickt? Appease, Mr. LeBlanc. Okay. Wie appeasen wir ihn denn?
Und entweder mit dem Schal oder mit dem Koffer.
Wieso mit dem Koffer?
Weil der teuer ist.
Los, wir können ihm den Koffer verkaufen.
Und in schönen Farben.
Ja, schade.
So ein bisschen Arrow so. Ja, bitte! Ah, siehst du. What a waste. How horrible to see a priceless piece of cloth soil.
I assure you it wasn't me. I believe it to be the work of a killer.
Grape juice. I will teach that killer a lesson. You can be sure I will. We beat the LeBlanc Revolution.
I think he meant the LeBlanc Retribution, but either way, it sounds intimidating. Schade.
Oh! As of you, I can say you have the guts to show me a piece about it this time. From a single glance, I can already tell it is mostly worthless.
Ha! This has much more value as a piece of non-art, I assure you.
You look like you have something to say. Perhaps you're thinking, like casting pearls before swine.
You actually hit the nail on the head for once. Das kannte ich nicht, diesen Ausdruck.
Ich auch nicht. Oh, ernsthaft?
Nein, ich glaube auch nicht. Mach einfach
Okay.
weiter.
Ah, so you're finally paying my wasted money.
Sorry, but there's absolutely nothing inside this wallet.
How dare you! You're wanting to trick me! Alter, bestimmt gerade komplett übersteuert. I was super fraud.
Mr. LeBlanc, are you seriously considering a courtroom tango with me? I hope not, but in case you are, there's a certain lawyer I can introduce you to. Ich glaube, das war alles.
Hot lawyer.
A sweaty boy. Ich habe keine Ahnung. I don't fucking know. I don't know.
Logic? Alter, wir haben Logik! Und es macht Sinn!
Das ist jetzt natürlich peinlich.
Oh mein fucking Gott.
I'm gonna cry. If Mr. LeBlanc has something to do with the smuggling ring, then it's possible this fake statue was brought on board in Sangfa. I think I need to question him a bit further. Andere...
Ja,
dann ist wahrscheinlich wirklich sogar diese blöde Statue, die dahinter ist. Also die für dem Foto.
Ja. So nach 10 Minuten haben wir dann auch mal gefühlt endlich herausgefunden, was also waren 3 Minuten.
Ja, es geht. About your statue, Mr. LeBlanc. I wonder if it might be a fake.
Oh, what? How dare you say my art is fake?
I suspect that your statue might be the target of an international smuggling ring.
Don't say such fantastical things. Those thieves will not dare. I have the certification of my cargo right here. Do you mean the cargo certification document? Mr. Sink LeBlanc, why didn't you say so earlier? Please show it to us at once.
Ja, da ist viel Text drauf.
I can't read this. What does it say? It says, as plain as day, the cargo was put onto the plane in Europe. And there you have it, Miles Edgeworth. Too bad for you. This statue was brought on board in Europe, just as it states in the certificate. Was certificate? Certificate.
No, that's...
Which means that there never was a window of time in which the statue wasn't sitting there.
Sure.
Was ist, wenn lügt?
I respectfully disagree. We can't discount the theory until I see the statue for myself.
Then you can have your wish. Look at it yourself and see I am right.
Yep.
Tatsache. Woo!
This... I know I've seen this somewhere before and we talked about it for the last 20 minutes.
Weißt du, stell dir vor, wir sind einfach Edgeworths Gedanken und die ganze Zeit so, ich hatte irgendwas im Kopf,
Ja.
This out of rent. It gives us such a feeling of art. I can practically smell it.
This statue has a high amount of historic value. After it was unveiled at a museum in Europe, I brought it to this country to exhibit it.
Okay.
Alter, wir haben 2 Seiten voll.
I believe a closer look is wanted here. Wie closer look? Ach so, das Ding selber. Das ergibt Sinn. Examen.
Ich glaube, ich habe jetzt schon einen Unterschied festgestellt.
Kein Diamant, kein roter, oder was?
Ich glaube, ja eben, da war irgendwas Rotes auf den Fotos zu sehen.
Ja, meine ich, auf die Augen, glaube ich.
Ja, die Augen. Easy.
So this is the infamous Alif red statue, right?
Was jetzt wieder so Mr. Edgeworths Gedanken ist. So, irgendwas habe ich dir gerade gehört.
What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? Did you find something?
There's something wrong with this picture. We should examine it in more detail. Wir können einfach Deduce machen, warum nicht? Wir wissen schon alles. Is this sword somehow connected to my dick? Eureka! These eyes are awfully orange, don't you think?
Yeah, and pretty. They remind me of sunsets when I was in grade school, sir.
Happier days. I don't think you see what I'm talking about.
No, I do. But it's really like the color of the sun when it's setting, sir. Ah, the memories. I remember standing out in that field, spinning with my arms out until I felt ill.
I don't care about sunsets. Focus, detective. What color are the eyes in this photo?
Ah, sir! They're red!
As I thought. As the two guys in my head said, this statue is a fake. Mr.
Radical, if I may say so.
What do you want? What do you want? I don't know. I am a busy man. I allow you 2 seconds for your answer.
We'll have read. I suppose this is your pride and joy, is it not?
It is the biggest trophy on this European trip. Do you know why I wanted to possess this statue? The trigger started 17 years ago.
Better grab a shower, sir. Sounds like this is gonna be a long story.
Viel Spaß beim Lesen, sorry. Mr. LeBlanc, I regret to inform you, and you have my heartfelt sympathy, but...
What is it? Sympathy? For what?
You'll see. I'd like you to compare the eyes.
That large fellow there has very bright and pretty eyes compared to you.
I wasn't talking about the two of us. I meant the eyes of a statue in front of us and the one in this photo.
Why the sun yelling? Now then. Oh. It is a photo of the statue on display at the museum in Europe.
The Museum in Europe. Sehr spezifisch. Es gibt zum Glück nur ein einziges Museum in ganz Europa. Now do you see, Mr. LeBlanc? The statue before us is a fake. I believe that even further examination will be required, now that we have confirmed that this is indeed a fake. There must be some sort of proof that this was brought on board in Sang-Froid, and I will present to you evidence that will resolve the remaining contradiction.
Stell dir vor, da steht jetzt einfach so unter dem Sockel. Made in Sang-Froid.
Guck mal, das Klopf ist hier, ne? Das ist über dem Klopf. What is this?
The statue looks like it's stabbing all over its neighbor's glove cover. It kind of resembles its owner's attitude in a sense.
You! What did you say now? My glove exam is not being stepped on by anyone. It is too expensive for me to allow that to happen.
Please forgive the trespasses of my subordinate.
Why should I forgive if the dress passes? Unless it is an expensive dress. You keep it.
Naja, ja, das ist doch genau... Achso, ich hätte die Juice müssen, I guess.
Ja, mit wahrscheinlich dem Cargo-Ding, oder?
Ja.
Cargo Certificate.
Sehr gut zusammen gepuzzelt. Eureka! Das ist nicht richtig.
Ich bin ja auch Franziska Gamschuh.
Ich glaube, vielleicht auch lieber eher mit dem anderen Ding.
Oh. Deswegen bin ich... Das war mein Gamschuh-Teil, tut mir leid.
Warte, was steht hier drauf? Ah ja, wir müssen mit der Karte von Sang-Froid, das ergibt viel mehr Sinn. Das wollte ich auch eigentlich machen, bevor du mir gesagt hast, dass du... Ja.
Aber du fandest meins plötzlich sinnvoller. Möchte ich nur so am...
Nein, das ist Juice fand ich sinnvoll. There's clearly a contradiction here.
What are you going on about? It's just a simple case of a cargo cover getting stuck on another piece of cargo. Ah! That's not possible.
But it is. It shouldn't be this way, but the statue on top of the cloth, supposing that the neighboring piece of cargo was brought on board in Saint-Foy, there's no way that any part of it should wind up under something from Europe. Which means that this fake statue was smuggled on board in Saint-Foy.
But then, what about the cargo certificate?
Let me ask in return, what about Agent Hicks? Why did he come down here in the middle of a flight? There's only one reason why, to secure proof of smuggling activity aboard this flight.
So you say, but I don't believe he had to do that mid-flight. We could have just as easily inspected all of the cargo after the plane landed.
That may be true, however, you have it backwards, Francisca. Sure, Agent Hicks could have waited until after the plane had landed, but he had a reason for coming down to the cargo hold. Suppose he had found the fake at the airport, it would have been after the swap had occurred. At that time, the suspicion would naturally fall onto the statue's owner, who would have no way to prove that the statue was switched without his knowledge. Which means there's someone involved who is forging or modifying cargo certificates. Das war schnell. Also, nicht sehr schnell, aber halb schnell.
I guess the victim knew the real version of this was gonna get nabbed, huh?
Yes. While this photo could be seen as nothing more than a simple souvenir, it was in fact taken to be used as a reference document later on. Next, Agent Hicks had to secure proof that the smuggling had taken place. He came down here to take a picture of the cargo hold, a rather empty one at that, right before the fake statue could be loaded on board.
A photo of the hold, missing a valuable piece of cargo, would have been proof enough. After that, all he had to do was hold the Saint-Foy cargo crew and arrest the smuggler.
Exactly. This only goes to prove my theory. If the statue was not in the cargo hold during the Europe-Saint-Foy leg of the trip, there would have been enough height from which Agent Hicks could have fallen to his death.
Officer! Move the statue immediately. I want a thorough examination of the floor underneath. Now!
Dann wäre vielleicht das Telefon da. Miss von Kammer, I'm ready to report my findings.
Go on.
After moving the leaf red statue out of the way, we tested the area under it with luminol and there was a reaction. Blood.
I see. There was a reaction to luminol, an indication that there was blood in that spot.
Can we stop looking at it now, sirs?
It would seem that my deductions were correct after all.
I suppose it would appear that way.
The culprit cleaned the blood up well.
And how do you think the killer did that? Very easy.
Mit dem Klopf.
Ja, ja. Klar, also bitte, also, ne, hier, klar.
The killer used a bloody cloth I found inside the suitcase to clean up the mess.
I see. They had a need to clean up all the blood before the plane landed in Saint-Foy.
Yes, because otherwise the cargo crew would have discovered it during the layover.
So you guys are saying that the murder happened before the plane landed in Saint-Foy?
There is no other conceivable timeline for the events of the murder. But if that is true, then what throws a certain person test me into doubt? If the murder occurred before we landed in Saint-Foy, then this becomes highly suspect. Miss Meals' testimony. Recall Miss Meals' testimony about Agent Hicks in regard to when we departed Saint-Foy. I saw Mr. Hicks sitting in his seat at 5 AM, you know. She claims Agent Hicks was alive at the time of the service calls, but...
That totally contradicts the facts, sir.
But why would she lie about something like that?
I think the only person who can answer that is Miss Meal herself. To be continued.
Oh, ich sag's mal so, perfekte Zeit, um den Part zu beenden.
Ciao, bis zum nächsten Mal.